Hey everybody, it's Cynthia, and I am finally back with a haul for you. And this one is the kind of haul I like to have. It's pop culture toys, and they've been kind of slim pickings in the last few months. If you've been following me, you know that. Actually, everything was kind of slim pickings for a while. So what's happened is because of Christmas, I guess the toys have surfaced, and the shirts and things I love to buy are disappearing. I guess because they're t-shirts. So I guess I just got to roll with the punches. But it always seems like I have a lot of one or the other. But this is good for you guys because I got some fun things, and I went to one of those estate sales this week that had so much stuff. Like if I had had $500 to spend, I could have gotten so many amazing things, but I didn't. It's that time of year, I'm trying to buy presents and all these other things. So, finding the money to keep sourcing is a little tricky. And, not finding the money, I should say justifying the money because, I have new things, other things I want to buy. And I had intended to go back on the second day and pick up more things, and one thing led to another, and I didn't get there. And it's again turning into one of those regretful estate sales, along with the magician and the big sci-fi guy that I feel like I should have, made an offer to buy more. But that's aside, it's too late, it's over. And I did get the one thing that I really, really wanted, which you can see in the opening screen, but we'll talk about it when we get there. So I want to start with this, which is kind of one of these, it could be great and it could be not. So the house, the estate sale that I went to, the person was a Disney collector, but they were particularly fond of Pinocchio. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of Pinocchio items, like everything ever made Pinocchio. And I kind of stayed away from that because I don't know the value on that. I was digging around for the item I did want to find, and I found this buried at the bottom of a box. Now, I'll tell you a funny thing. Because they're a Disney collector, and I do mean Disney collector, they had a bunch of pins. It's a pin. I know it doesn't look like it's huge. And they probably had clothes. But I found very few Disney clothes and very few pins. So either somebody got there ahead of me and bought them all up, or the family took them and these few items escaped because they said this was buried in the bottom of a box. I also found a vintage sweatshirt, which I bought, even though I don't do really well with vintage Disney clothes, but, I couldn't leave it behind. And the person running the sale was kind of surprised that I even had found it, but I found that buried in the bottom of a trunk underneath a bunch of plush toys. So dig. If you are an estate sale buyer, dig at the bottom of boxes under things, because that's where the good stuff that the early people come through and grab, and they don't dig, and the good stuff is hiding at the bottom. So I grabbed this. It was a Disney pin. I knew I recognized it, but I didn't know from what. And of course, some of you are out there shouting it to me right now. It's Hocus Pocus. It does open, and it says Manual of Witchcraft and Alchemy. And I can't read the rest of this. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or what happens, but it's all enameled. It's really heavy. It's got hinges. It weighs a ton. And it came from D23, which you may know is the Disney conventions, the official conventions. Official Disney fan club pin. So this was a limited edition that only a few people had access to. And even if it hadn't been, I probably would have bought it. I would have picked up Disney pins no matter what they were, because if they're cheap enough, there's always a market for them. So this one, I thought though might be really something, both because I knew it was spooky, even though I didn't know it was Hocus Pocus at the time, and because it was unusual and it was limited. Sorry, I'm rambling more than I should about this item. But here's the funny thing. Depending how you describe it, you will see ones that are listed for $100 and ones that are listed for $40. And maybe even a little bit less. The $100 ones I saw first and I was so excited, but then they're not selling for that. If you get the wording right, because it's such a long title, what it is, people play around with the title. There is somebody selling a whole bunch of these, like somebody had like 20 of them that they're selling. So that's kind of depressing the market a little bit. So I put mine up in the same range, and I'll wait it out until somebody gets there. I know there's a lot of Hocus Pocus fans, and somebody will really want this. It's a really cool item. If you want it, let me know. Next, let's talk about these. So if you, again, follow my channel, you may have heard me talk about the great doll clothes disaster of a couple months ago, where I bought a bunch of doll clothes on a auction, an online auction, where I couldn't examine anything, and it ended up costing me $60. I paid $10 for the items, but it cost me another $50 to have them shipped to me. And when I got them, they were mostly damaged and not what they were as described. But it wasn't eBay. You can't return them. That's life. But update on those items. In the end, we have sold a good, I'd say at least half of everything I got. So I'm into profit. I'm not into as much profit as I would have liked, but there was profit in it. So when I got to this sale, this is the same Disney sale, this person had a huge box. It was an old box from a very old department store that I don't even remember here in California. I think it was called Marsh's. And it was loaded with doll clothes and baby clothes. So very tiny baby clothes that would also fit larger dolls. She had dolls. I didn't want them. Now, I'm only showing you a tiny portion here because basically I brought the whole box up and said, how much do you want for the whole thing? She wanted $25, which was a little higher than I wanted to spend. Actually, it was a lot higher than I wanted to spend. But in the end, we combined everything and got a deal. I got a Super Disney DVD, but I don't have it here because my son took it. Oh, I have one other thing to show you. I knew there was something else. Shoot, it's gone. I got a Magilla Gorilla, McFarlane, I think, action figure. So cool, brand new in package. I gave it to my husband, and I asked him to leave it so I could show you guys, but I guess he took it. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed with the holidays. Are you? So I'm more rambly than usual. Sorry. So this is just the two best items I wanted to show you that were in the package. So there was a ton of vintage baby clothes, and some of them had labels like Marshall Fields and all of that. The old doll clothes I had sold well, so I got more. So this one's adorable. Look at this little outfit. So it's a little pair of pants, and then a matching little jacket, and it had the hanger. I think these are handmade, but having said that, in the 50s, a lot of clothes, even mass-produced clothes, were handmade. So the lack of a tag on these doesn't necessarily mean they weren't mass-produced for a specific doll. But I thought this one is going to go by itself. So I made 2 or 3 big lots of the baby clothes and some of the more generic doll clothes. And those are already up on my eBay store. These I'm going to put up separately because they're matching and they're really nice. Now look at this one. This reminds me of Jackie Onassis. Look, it's a lovely, like a wool skirt. Now sadly the snap is missing from the side, but that's no big deal. And then look at this coat. This is so amazing. It's got little tiny buttons. It's got a little tiny pocket. It's this beautiful woven fabric, like a nice wool suit. This looks like a miniature version of a woman's high-end wool suit. Oh, and it has a matching little beanie cap. Is that cute or what? Look at that. So somebody put, again, if it was made by hand, it's quality work. This is a very lovely outfit. You don't see this kind of quality in doll clothes anymore, except I will say American Girl. American Girl clothes are super like this. So it's got a little bit of maybe some fading, hard to tell, some staining, but it's pretty clean overall. And then there was this little doll slip in here. And now I don't know what the person bought them for, but I sold a whole lot of nothing but vintage doll crinolines and slips, and it sold almost instantly. So I don't know if people use them to create something else, but yeah. So these were fun. What do we do next? Here, let me talk about this next. So also buried in the box where I found the pin was a bunch of small items, a lot of like Disney McDonald's toys. Sorry, I'm getting that flickering. And this, which is a Corpse Bride Flipbook. It's a Flipbook on one side. I don't know if I can get it to you where you can actually see the movement. There, see her coming down the hill? There she goes. So it's a Flipbook on one side, and then it's like an art book. It's the story with art from the movie on the other side. Look, here's like the sketches and things. So it says in theaters September 2005. My understanding is this was a San Diego Comic-Con giveaway to promote the movie. Now, Corpse Bride in general is usually a good seller. This particular item, not so much, maybe because it was a giveaway at San Diego and so everybody's got one. I was surprised when I looked this up. It doesn't sell that much, but I don't know. I'm going to hold out on that because I think this is really cool. Again, if you're a fan of Tim Burton or particularly this movie, look at this art. The art in here is just fantastic. And I love this that it's a flip book on the other side. There. So, very cute. I don't know what I'm going to put that up for, but adorable. And I took that book and I put these and, oh, sorry, there was one other item. I knew I shouldn't have cleaned my desk off before I showed you guys everything. There was a bunch of paper in the bottom. This was like this. Let me show you. This was like this in the bottom of the box as well. And I took it out and I stuck it in that Corpse Bride book just because I didn't want it to get damaged in my bag. And she was just like, oh, just take it. So what this is a napkin from the Magic Castle. This is a club for magicians in Hollywood. You can only go if you are a magician or you're invited by a magician. Another one of my great regrets in life was I had a chance to go to the Magic Castle and I wasn't able to go for a company party and I missed it. And I will always regret that because I have such a fascination with the Magic Castle. So again, I don't think this has any value whatsoever. I just thought it was really cool and I just throw it in my little souvenir box. Also included in there was a set of Knott's Berry Farm tickets. You may know back Disney and Knott's Berry Farm apparently used to do ticket books, and people know them from Disney because they were labeled by letters, like a D tickets and B tickets and that kind of thing. And what the point was, see, like here, like a C attraction, a B attraction. Here we go. So the idea was that if you would get a ticket book and you could choose to use your tickets on an attraction that was part of that set. So this C attraction one, you could either in the ghost town go to Mott's Miniatures, or in the Fiesta Village, you could go on Animal Farm, the Happy Sombrero, the Mexican Whip, or the Antique Auto Ride. So if you have 2 C coupons in your booklet, these happen to be the child ones, a child could ride 2 of the items that are on this, and that's it, and that's your pick. You get 2 of them. And then you could buy additional coupons if you wanted to ride more. I was trying to figure out when these are from because they're not dated, but then I started looking at the prices. So an additional ticket would be 40 cents. Here's the adult version of that ticket. Here, the Haunted Shack, which was kind of like one of those, it's a dark ride. Calico Railroad, Knott's Berry Tales, these in the Roaring Twenties area, which I don't even think they have anymore. Gasoline Alley. So these are 60 because these are better. These are B attractions. More people want them. 65 cents. You can get a ticket to ride one of those. And if you want to go on the A attractions, like Pan for Gold, or ride the Stagecoach, or the Log Ride, the Calico Mine Ride, the Corkscrew. So these would be considered like the big, the thrill rides, as it were. These will cost you 85 cents. So I don't know what year these are from. Oh, this one's only 25 cents to go on the merry-go-round. But clearly with those kind of prices, this has to be 60s or 70s. So unfortunately, they're ripped out of the book, but the cover of the book is here. And there's this, Knott's Silver Dollar Fun Adventures. This is one child to do one of these things. I don't know. That was a little bit different. Oh, it's a B ticket. I don't know why it's different. And then this I never even heard of. Look, Jungle Island at Knott's Berry Farm. World of the Woodnicks, where adults enjoy exploring and children love to play. So it's some kind of strange, I don't know, creatures made out of wood. I don't know. I got to dig some information up on that because that's kind of fun. So there was a ticket to get into the Jungle Island. So these might have a little value. Some people do collect old tickets. Old Disneyland tickets are more valuable. I have seen some of the Knott's tickets sell. They're not going to go for much, but I might save them up. I come across a lot of Knott's Berry Farm things, obviously, in the area I live in, so I may just save them up and put them all together one day in a bundle. So very cool. Let's continue with Disney. Let's look at him first. So this did not come from, even though he is Disney, he did not come from that estate sale. This came from my local church store. He is just a plain old Disney beanie. He's got a little bit of bean in his butt. But the reason I grabbed him, because not all Disney beanies are worth money, is he is Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. And he's really unusual. I'd never seen him before. So I looked him up, and sure enough, he does sell in the $20 range or more. If he had his tags, he'd go for even more than that. But he's in good, clean condition. And I think it'll probably take a little while for him to sell, but I think he will. Because again, Sleepy Hollow #1 has its own sort of fandom. And then the fact that he's a more rare beanie. Yeah, so I had a Lady and the Tramp, Fergus, I think I want to say is the character's name, the little Scotty dog beanie. And I almost got him too, but he really has not that much value. These beanbag, because again, there's so many of them, don't sell for what they used to. But definitely the rare ones can sell really well, can sell for $20, $30, even $40. So if it's a character you don't see often, grab it. This I haven't opened yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to. I might have to shoot it, but so this was another sort of slit under the radar. This came from the Disney estate sale that I was at. Again, it's Pinocchio, but it was dumped in the bottom of a box because I guess somebody just, it was plastic wrap. They didn't really think about it. So it appears to be a scarf, but here's what's really interesting. It's from Tokyo Disney. And you'd think that would make it really, really rare and valuable, but not necessarily. I've had Tokyo Disney shirts and other things, and they don't seem to hold any more value being from Tokyo Disney than they do in general. But this is awfully pretty and unusual. I couldn't find anything else like it. I got to dig a little deeper online. Like I said, I may have to take it out to photograph it. I think that, I'm not sure. I might try it without first and see if somebody wants it, because I hate to open, if it was resealable. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm not going to do it on camera, but very nice item from, Tokyo Disney. So again, value, I have no idea. I'm hoping at least 20 some, because it's going to be easy to ship, but it might, maybe more. This is, you can see I picked up $3. I was on my way out of my local church store, and I had walked past the Christmas items on my way in, and on my way out, I spotted this. So they had just put it out. I'm a big Rudolph fan, and I do collect Rudolph PVC. I'm going to turn you for a second, see if I can get him over there. Nope, where is he? There, see him? There's my Bumble. He's wearing Dean's necklace from Supernatural. He sits out all year long for me because I love Bumble so much. I also have a giant Bumble. Let me do a quick flip. Ready? Close your eyes for a second. Woo! There, see him over there? Big giant plush Bumble. Also. So this is a set of the PVC. This is the Island of Misfit Toys from, I think, 2011. If you find this set completely intact, wow, I really messed my lighting up doing that. Let's see here. If you find the set intact, like in its box, it sells really well, like in the $75 to $100 range well. Loose, it's a little bit different. Some people do try to sell individual ones for people who just want to fill in their collections. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, because I have the Island of Misfit Toys, some of the collection, but I have it from the year after where they made everything bigger. So the scale is wrong on these, which is a shame, because I really like these two. I don't have these two in any form, I don't think. I have a lot of plush Rudolph. And then Hermie's weird, and he's out of scale. Like, I don't understand that. Why'd they do that? So, and he's kind of cool too. So I toyed with keeping them. Here's Clarice and Rudolph. But the scale on the elves is really bugging me. I want to hang on to these too. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. There is some value in these. There's tons of Rudolph now. It's highly merchandised, but there's still value in the right pieces. And there's Sam. Hang on 1 second for me. I know I'm in the middle of filming a video, but I have to walk away for 1 second. And I will be back. I'm coming back, I swear. I'm working with a friend who sells Funko Pops. If you are into Funko Pops, go to Dreamers with a Z, Toys with a Z on eBay. She is marking down her Funkos. Crazy, crazy price because she's got to clean out a storage unit because they're moving, and amazing, amazing prices on Pops for Christmas. So look for that. So let me show you a couple more things. So this, there we go. So I also grabbed him at that Disney sale. She was a big Muppet fan. There was, again, my regrets. There were 2 other Muppets in the box. I should have bought those too. I should have gone back the next day is what I should have done for half price. But I did grab this one. This is sort of a holiday Kermit. He's really big. I think he was a Macy's exclusive, and he's from Eden Toys. I think back here, Eden. And he's in pretty nice condition. And again, he's a $25 to $30 Kermit. It's a little bit more unusual, the one with the scarf. So that's what you want to look for if you're looking him up. And then, ironically, because everything I buy is like when I find one, I find 12. I was in a completely different place. I was at Salvation Army. I was in line to check out, and somebody had left this just sitting on the table that's next to the checkout line. And I love that it has its tag. This is a Muppet Baby, if you remember Muppet Babies from the 90s, I'm thinking. I know, yeah, it has to be because it was popular when my son was a baby. And this was a cartoon with all the Muppets as little baby children. And Muppet Babies sell really well. I think because it's a 90s cartoon that people, again, it's a very nostalgic thing. I might not have bought him. Oh, you know what? They make me crazy. I'm just now looking. I think his eye is cracked. This is where the sticker was for the price sticker. So they covered it. Maybe it's just the sticky. Maybe not. Might just be the sticky. Anyway, I'll play with that. So it was only $3, and I grabbed it mostly because it did have its tag. Not all Muppet Babies, particularly the ones that came from McDonald's. McDonald's put out a line of them. Don't sell all that well, but the correct ones do. If you had this whole line, it's like a $7,500 thing. But individually, I'm not sure. Again, I think the issue is that there's rarer ones like Fozzie and other ones like that. And if you had those, because they're the more unusual characters, they're really worth it. And I guess we're at the end with my favorite toy. Woo! Here it comes. Also, though, while you're looking, I got Lucy and Ricky. I don't know if you've seen him since I don't know if I filmed since I got them. My friend Anne, who runs Dreamers Toys, sent me Lucy and Ricky. I adore those 2 Funko Pops. They're some of my new favorites. They're hanging out over there with Buffy and Giles. I totally have to redo my Funko display. It's still very Halloween. And get up some other ones. Anyway, distracted like always. I know. Ooh, squirrel. So this is what I went to get. Let me show you how it came originally. Oh, I didn't know that. So this is a Doom Buggy from Disneyland, obviously the Haunted Mansion. Now, a couple of years back, Disney put out this theme park collection of die-cast metal vehicles, and what they were versions of all of the ride cars for different rides. So they had, I believe, Small World, Peter Pan, I think there might have been a Splash Mountain, this one. She had a couple other ones, but she wanted a little bit more. She wanted $10 for them, which I didn't mind buying for myself, but I didn't think there was enough in them to flip it. So I didn't buy the other 2. This one actually was the better of the bunch. And it was sealed when I got it. It's supposed to glow in the dark. I don't care if it's sealed. I wanted it for myself, so I opened it. It has a lot of weight. It's metal, and I didn't realize that it opens here so that they can get out of the car. I guess he glows, and it's car 13. And it's so cool. It does seem to have a little flaw down here. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, no, maybe not. Look, it's like that on both sides. Oh, no, I'm silly. Look again. That's the hinge, because I didn't realize it was hinged. But because, again, it's metal and it moves, it's really high quality. And you've got Mickey and Goofy with their hitchhiking ghost. I'm such a Haunted Mansion fan. I've seen these before and I've always wanted one, and I'm so excited that I now own one. And look, it rolls. It's so fun. So I got to get it really lit up and see if it glows in the dark, because a lot of things say they do, but they don't. I love it. I will say, just to be picky, because I have to be picky, I have to compare it to a picture of a real Doom buggy. I feel like the shape isn't exactly right. Am I losing it? Is that true? But I feel like it should be more fan shape in the back. I don't know. But I'm still so excited to have it. So that is my haul for now. If you saw something you like and you're watching this video soon, or not so soon, I don't even know. Use the links below to visit my eBay store. We're Boris Basement on eBay, and you can find something and make me an offer. You know, I price things where I think the value is. You know, I'm not trying to go crazy with people, but you know, I'm trying to make a living, obviously. And but if you really want something and you want to make me an offer, do it. And if I can, I will make it happen for you. That's it for now. I'm hoping I'll have another video before the year is out, but who knows? Christmas time is here, and it's just so crazy busy, including eBay sales have been insane. That's it for me. Wishing you lots of pop culture profits, and wishing you a lot of pop culture toys under your holiday tree or next to your menorah or whatever holiday you might celebrate. I hope you get what you wanted.